Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to do a get ready with me video today because they're some of my favorite and I felt like I hadn't done one in a minute. I also just was like feeling a little under the weather today when I woke up and just very tired. And so I thought a get ready with me might sort of pep me up, and to have a full face of makeup might be nice for today. So I have my mirror set up like right below the camera. So if that's why I'm looking a little bit below, that's why. It's going to be super distracting. Anyway, I went through my makeup collection and I pulled items that I haven't used in a while that I thought I would just start using. I did this the last time and I really liked doing that. So I'm just going to start off by using a primer, which I rarely ever do. I need to actually replace this product. This was the first green beauty product that I actually bought in person, I guess. I had started to buy them online because I didn't realize that stores like Credo existed around me. And so I bought the Vapor Stratus Soft Focus Skin Perfecting Primer. That is a name, but since I've had it for a while now, I've learned to say it. I bought it at Credo in the San Francisco location and I remember feeling so excited to have it. And I also remember when I went in there, I had like a whole list of things that I wanted and they had nothing in stock. And I remember being so disappointed, but then not realizing the price tag of green beauty products and sort of being thankful that everything was out of stock because there was no way I could afford to buy everything I had wanted to buy. Next, I'm going to go in with the Vapor Luminous foundation. This is in the shade 117, which is definitely more my shade. This is one of the new shades that they came out with. I know I talked about this in my last Get Ready With Me, but I definitely want to purchase this in the Atmosphere Soft Focus foundation, which is the liquid one. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm trying to finish everything else. And I either like to use a beauty blender or actually a stippling brush with this one. I just feel like it blends in really nicely. And I just sort of take my time making sure that everything's blended in. I like a stippling brush because it doesn't leave any harsh lines. Sometimes you just don't feel like going to wet a beauty blender. Anyone relate to that when you're feeling very lazy? Actually, I have my period right now, which I think is why I'm feeling a little under the weather. I'm honestly not someone, like I have a little bit of PMS definitely, and sometimes I can get cramps, but I don't have anything that I can really complain about on my period except the fatigue. I get so tired and I always know when it's gonna happen because literally I have so much trouble waking up in the morning. Any of you have that too and have some sort of solution or just a way to deal with it? I would love to know because the fatigue is real. And that's part of the reason why I'm actually using the Luminous foundation, is to try and bring some life back to my face. When I have my period, I get very, very dark around here. I also get dark sort of underneath my eyes. By the end of my period, I look like I haven't slept in a week. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I just want this to be kind of a light coverage. You can really build this foundation up, but I'm blending it out to be pretty sheer. Okay, hopefully the lighting is a little bit better. I just adjusted it. So sorry if half of my face was really blown out. I just have a lot of light coming in this way. But I really like sitting here. It's so much easier to set up. Some water. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of concealer work, but I'm actually gonna be using a mineral concealer. This is something that I used to really love. I still use as a finishing powder, but I don't use as a concealer quite as much. And that is the Lily Lolo Mineral Concealer, but I'm just gonna use it to cover some spots. I have like a reoccurring pimple that just never goes away. That will like really come to a head right here. That will come to a head. I'll obviously pick at it because I'm awful and have no self-control. And then I'll scar it. It'll like finally heal and go down, and then like 2 months later it'll come back. Just had this thought that like the couches in our apartment are the most expensive piece of furniture that we have, and I'm doing makeup on it. Is this a good idea? We shall see. I don't have flawless skin by any means, but you guys know the story at this point. I don't need flawless skin. I don't think anyone needs to cake on a ton of makeup unless it's what you want to do. So if you're feeling like you have to really layer on products super, super thick, just know that's not what everyone does. And certainly for me, if I have little spots that are showing through, that's okay as long as my skin looks healthy and natural. That's more my sort of vibe. So in retrospect, probably wasn't a great decision to use the powder concealer because this particular area, which is really what I wanted to cover up, is drier, and so of course it's clinging to that. But otherwise, I do really like this concealer. I'm gonna use some of the Vapor Illusionist concealer under my eyes, Try and get rid of some of these bags, brighten everything up a little. I'm gonna bring it down just the sides. I'm just putting a little bit, and I'm just gonna blend out with my finger. And that one is actually in the shade 115. I have it in 117. I haven't used it yet, but I sort of felt like for underneath my eyes, 115 was a fine color match. So I'm trying to use this one up before I open the other one, try and keep it fresh for as long as possible. Being careful to keep it away from the folds of my eyes that I can already naturally see. My eyes are a little bit heavier this week, but there will be a little bit of creasing, and then once I see it go into the crease, I can use my finger and sort of blend out the excess product, and that should keep it in place for the rest of the day. All right, I'm gonna move into brows. I'm actually gonna fill them in today, which I rarely ever do, but I haven't used Eco Brow in a while, so I thought I would do that. And then I'm also gonna be doing a review on the Plume Brow Pomade coming up. So for those of you who voted for that instead of the dry shampoo, don't worry, that is coming. This is a good practice for that video. I'm using the color Penelope. I'm just gonna dip a little in, and then I'm actually gonna like go back and forth on the back of my hand to make sure that all the pigment is at the sharpest point of the brush. So that way it makes your life a lot easier. And I'm just gonna brush up and follow the natural line underneath, brush down, follow the natural line up above, and just fill in and brush. So this is my finicky eyebrow because I actually have a scar in the middle of it. When I was younger, I don't remember, I have a lot of stitches. I was sort of a monkey when I was a little kid, and I would climb everything. I was also a third child, so I was a tiny bit impatient when I came to waiting. So I would like try and get out of the high chair by myself, and I broke my ankle. There's just a lot that I've done to my poor body as a toddler. But this one, I think I hit my head. I tripped getting out of the shower or something, and I hit my eyebrow on the counter, and it literally split open. My poor parents, they were terrified. So they took me into the doctor, and I needed stitches. And obviously when you're a little kid, this is actually one of my most prideful stories. Like, I enjoy telling this, and I wish I could put it on my resume. But when you're a little kid, they're always worried about giving stitches because it's hard to get you to sit still and be patient. But I was so good. I just laid there, and they stitched me right up, like right by my eye, which was probably petrifying. I'd be terrified now, but I was a great little kid. And I just listened to my dad, who told me a story about dinosaurs because there was a painting of dinosaurs in the office. And so he just told me to look at the painting of the dinosaur, and he was gonna tell me a story. And I just have this like vivid memory, which I don't know if it's a real memory or whether I'm just remembering it because people have told it to me so many times. But I remember being in that chair and looking at that picture and looking at my dad and being so intrigued by the story, and the doctor finishing the stitches, and me and my dad stopped telling the story, obviously. And I was like, but what happens? Like, what happened? And the doctor was so blown away that I didn't even like flinch during the procedure. But yeah, so anyway, I have a scar in the middle of it, and just no hair grows there, so you can sort of see there's a little divot. Sometimes I try and fill it in, but it ends up looking like a very sculpted look if I do that. So I think to keep everything a little bit more natural today, I'm not going to. But that's sort of how I fill in just eyebrows very feathery. I am gonna put some brow gel in there to keep those hairs in place. For eyes, I'm going to be using a palette, the Filthy Rich Eye Palette from Lily Lolo. I don't usually use this palette. I don't know why. There's very pretty colors in it, but I just never reach towards it. I think because they're not super neutral. I think based on all the colors that I have, we're sort of doing a bronzy look today. So I'm gonna mix this cool toned color with the one next to it, which is like a chocolatey brown. And I'm just gonna dust that all over my lid. And obviously just blending really well to make sure everything looks seamless. I may or may not have just drawn attention to the fact that my eyes are so tired. So maybe we should add some light back into it. I'm gonna take this like light peach color, and I'm just gonna place that on the inner corner. So that's what I love about makeup. It looks bad, you just keep layering products until it starts to look good. And if it looks really bad, then you just take it off and you start from scratch. We'll just put a little bit more concealer under our eyes. I'm just gonna leave it there because I don't feel like being too fussy with my eyes, but I'm gonna put a little bit more concealer. I'm gonna put it like at the deepest points and at the outer corner. And because this is a light reflective concealer, that's sort of why I'm putting it on the outer corner, so it'll keep your eye from looking too dark, but you'll still get that smoky effect. I'm still very much into curling my eyelashes. I think I'm getting pretty good too. My dream is to one day have the Shiramura. Is that what it's called? Shiramura? You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys watch like Lisa Eldridge, Shiramura? I don't know how you pronounce it. But anyway, there's these super famous eyelash curlers that every makeup artist is like, oh, you need these. There's nothing like them on the market. I might invest in them. I mean, way later when I have the budget for it. However, that is on my wish list for sure. I'm just gonna put on some mascara then. I don't want them to look clumpy or anything, but I definitely want them to look separated and long, but still natural. So I'm just concentrating most of the mascara at the base. Eyelashes are still so long. It's crazy. I'm just gonna dab a little on the bottom. I have very long bottom lashes though, like right here. Put too much. So I have to be very careful when I put on bottom mascara, or else it just looks scary. Okay, now I'm gonna be using the Honest Beauty Contour Highlight Kit. I rarely use this. I really should. It's a nice palette, and today I'm gonna use it as sort of bronzer blush. I've been using bronzer as a blush for a while now. It also has an insane mirror in here that's really great to use. I'm gonna start some of the product back here and do a little contour before I get into blush. A little around my forehead. I'm using the lighter of the two shades, by the way. So Honest Beauty just did a whole revamp of their packaging, which is honestly why I thought I would use this product. I did order their eyeshadow palette because I had never tried their eyeshadows before, and I had heard such amazing things about it. So I'm curious to see about their palette. The packaging is so cute. So as soon as it comes, I'm gonna be doing a review on that, so get excited. I'm just gonna take a light amount and go on the apples of my cheeks. Because I sort of sheared out the foundation, I'll still have a natural flush throughout the day, so I'll just have a bronzy flush now, which is great. And a little on the bridge of my nose and a little on my chin. And I'm just gonna go over with a stippling brush to make sure that it's all blended. Gonna use the highlight shade in here and just going with the same finger so we still have a bit of a bronzy glow. And I'm just gonna go on the tops of my cheekbones, but I'm gonna be really careful to avoid my little problem area. A little on the Cupid's bow. Definitely some under the brow bone and in the inner corner. Before doing lips, I was gonna do powder, but I think because my skin is so dry, I'm actually not going to powder. I'm just gonna leave it and hopefully it'll stay. I'm gonna be doing a matte color on my lips. This is Mojave. It's one of my favorites from the 100% Pure. It's a nude color, and I'm not gonna do it too heavy. It's sort of like a My Lips But Better. I'm just gonna pack it on. And that is the final look. So I feel a little bit more refreshed and put together, which is always wonderful. I hope you guys enjoyed getting ready with me. I certainly love getting ready with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night or whenever you're watching this. I did want to ask you guys to leave me questions down below. I know I mentioned it on Instagram, but I am putting together a Q&A video, and I have a lot of questions from Instagram, but I want to make sure I also put that out on YouTube, because I know there's not always crossover between like people who are on my Instagram versus people on my YouTube. So if you haven't already, definitely leave me a question down below so that I can answer it in an upcoming video. If you have any questions about the products that I use, let me know, but everything will be linked down in the description box. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!